A single penny, 1 cent, the smallest denomination in American currency. But in your pocket right now could be a 2010 Lincoln cent worth a lot today. We're uncovering how a seemingly ordinary 2010 penny could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and why most people walk right past these fortunes without ever knowing it. The year 2010 marked a significant period in American coinage. The U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies across multiple facilities, but hidden among these masses of copper-plated zinc coins are some of the most valuable error coins ever discovered in modern American numismatics. Let's start with the basics. A standard 2010 penny weighs exactly 2.5 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. The coin should be composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. But here's where things get interesting. When these specifications deviate even slightly, the value can skyrocket. One of the most spectacular 2010 penny errors ever discovered came from a roll of coins purchased at a bank in Texas. A collector noticed something odd about one particular penny. It was struck on a silver-colored planchet intended for a dime. This wrong planchet error resulted in a coin that sold at auction for $138,000. Think about that, a penny worth more than most luxury cars, simply because it was struck on the wrong piece of metal. But that's just the beginning. The 2010 penny holds secrets that even experienced collectors are still discovering. Take the case of Michael Richardson, a construction worker from Ohio. During his lunch break, he noticed a penny that looked slightly different from the others. Upon closer inspection, he discovered what numismatists call a double die error, where the design appears doubled due to a misalignment in the minting process. His lunch break discovery later sold for $45,000. The real value lies in understanding what to look for. Professional grading services have identified several major categories of 2010 penny errors that command premium prices. Let's examine them one by one. First, we have die cracks and cuts. These occur when the die used to strike the coin begins to deteriorate, creating raised lines or bumps on the coin surface. A particularly dramatic die cut on a 2010 penny from the Philadelphia Mint recently sold for $12,000. The error appeared as a large raised bump near Lincoln's shoulder, making it look like the president was wearing an unusual epaulette. Then there are the off-center strikes. Normally, a penny should be perfectly centered when struck, but sometimes the planchet isn't properly positioned, resulting in part of the design being missing. A 2010 penny struck 50% off-center recently commanded $8,500 at auction. The more dramatic the off-center strike, generally the higher the value. But here's where it gets really interesting. In 2010, a handful of pennies were struck with what's known as a transitional error. These coins were accidentally struck on leftover planchets from 1982 or earlier, containing 95% copper instead of the standard zinc core. These copper transitional errors are among the most valuable modern pennies in existence, with one example selling for over $150,000. Remember that bank teller in Milwaukee who thought she spotted something unusual about a penny in her till? That unusual penny turned out to be a mule, struck with a Roosevelt dime reverse. It sold at auction for $89,000. The lesson? Always check your change. The 2010 penny also holds another secret: the elusive double die reverse. This error occurs when the reverse die receives two impressions at slightly different angles during the hubbing process. The result? A subtle but distinct doubling of the memorial design. One such example, discovered in a roll of pennies from North Carolina, sold for $28,000. Let's talk about condition. While errors make pennies valuable, condition multiplies that value exponentially. A 2010 penny with a significant error in pristine, uncirculated condition could be worth 10 times more than the same error in circulated condition. This is why knowing how to properly handle and store potentially valuable coins is crucial. Consider the story of Sarah Chun, a college student who discovered a 2010 penny with both an off-center strike and a die crack. Because she recognized its potential value and immediately placed it in a protective holder, the coin's pristine condition helped it achieve a price of $67,000 at auction. Had the coin been carried loose in a pocket or purse, its value might have been reduced by 80% or more. But perhaps the most valuable 2010 penny error ever discovered combines multiple mistakes. In 2019, a collector identified a penny that was not only struck on a dime planchet, but also exhibited a significant die crack and was struck 15% off-center. This perfect storm of errors resulted in a coin that sold for an astonishing $365,000. Now, let's get to the really exciting part: how to identify these valuable errors in your own coins. You'll need three basic tools: a magnifying glass of at least 5x power, a digital scale accurate to zero point 0.1 grams, and good lighting. Here's your checklist. Start by checking the weight. A normal 2010 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's noticeably lighter or heavier, you might have something special. Next, examine the surface under strong light. Look for raised lines, bumps, or areas where the design appears doubled. Pay special attention to the date and the word Liberty. These areas often show doubling most clearly. Check the edges. A normal penny should have a uniform, rounded edge. Any sharp breaks, clips, or unusual shapes could indicate a valuable error. Look at the color. While most 2010 pennies should have a copper-colored surface, any that appear silver or brass-colored deserve closer inspection. The position of the design is crucial. Using your magnifying glass, check if all design elements are properly centered. Even slight off-center strikes can add significant value. Examine the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Any doubling or irregularities here could indicate a valuable double die. But here's what most people don't know. Some of the most valuable 2010 penny errors aren't immediately obvious. Take the case of Peter Doyle, a retired banker who discovered a 2010 penny with a nearly imperceptible die rotation error. The reverse design was rotated approximately 45 degrees from its normal position, a subtle error that resulted in a $22,000 sale. Throughout numismatic history, the most valuable coins have often been hiding in plain sight. The 2010 penny continues this tradition, with new varieties and errors still being discovered more than a decade after their minting. Every time you receive change or pass a penny on the sidewalk, you could be walking past a small fortune. This brings us to an important point about authentication. If you believe you found a valuable 2010 penny error, proper certification is crucial. The leading third-party grading services, PCGS, NGC, and ANAX, can authenticate your find and provide a protective holder that helps preserve its value. While certification costs money, it's an essential step for any potentially valuable error coin. Remember Tom Harrison, who found what he thought was a valuable double-die 2010 penny. Before getting it certified, he posted photos online and received offers up to $15,000. After professional certification confirmed its authenticity, the same coin sold for $86,000. The lesson? Proper authentication can dramatically increase a coin's value. The 2010 penny serves as a reminder that extraordinary value can exist in the most ordinary places. Every year, new error varieties are discovered, and prices for known rarities continue to climb. The next major discovery could be sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now. Speaking of discoveries, just last year, a construction crew renovating an old bank building in Chicago found a canvas bag containing several rolls of 2010 pennies. Among them was a penny struck on a quarter planchet, an error so rare that experts are still debating its potential value. Early estimates suggest it could bring over $500,000 when it eventually comes to auction. If you found this information valuable, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos about valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Share your own coin discoveries in the comments below. Who knows, your find might be featured in our next video. Until then, keep checking those coins and remember, fortune favors the observant.